What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Terror Table for episode 116. I'm one of your regular hosts every single week. My name is Mitch, and alongside me, as always,
Boozy.
And alongside him, we got...
Bonjour, je m'appelle Diego.
All right, we're all here. The trio is back. We're all ready to go. We're going to talk about some horror movies today because that is the podcast that we are. We talk about horror movies, we share horror news, and we talk about a feature film every single week. And this week we're going to be discussing my pick, which is Ghostwatch.
Why is this your pick? What series are we doing?
Found footage.
That was probably the most cohesive intro you've ever done.
You said that last week.
It just keeps getting better.
Maybe it's just coming now.
You're just buttering all the bread.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, yeah, like I said, yeah, this is going to be our second to last found footage episode. We have another one that's going to happen after this that we hadn't planned. Either way, we'll just announce next week we're going to be doing Diego's pick, which is going to be the Poughkeepsie tapes. So you can look forward to that. You can check it out online, stream it, download it, like legally, like buy it.
I think it's just on YouTube.
It's not.
Isn't it? It used to be.
It used to be.
Just buy movies, rent movies.
Just yell outside and hope someone hears you.
But yeah, so we'll be talking about that next week. But I want to get some housekeeping out of the way, and then we can get on to what we have been seeing and what we've been up to. I just want to give a shout out to myself that I was on.
Fuck you.
I was on Rank and Review talking about witch movies with our friend and other fellow podcaster Larry Parsons.
Wait, which movies?
Which movies? That was a good one. Yeah, so I talked about Larry and I talked about 6 different witch movies, and we ranked and reviewed them. So you can find that on Rank and Review and listen to us talk about witches. Other than that, I want to give a shout out and congratulations to our friend Kent Blue, who has the Roll to Play podcast. He had previously been running his show through fanoff.com, which is the website that also hosts our friends at Erie International and a bunch of other podcasts. But now he has ventured off on his own, and he has his very own network. So he has the Roll to Play network. So it's all run by him, and that's a big step. And it seems like he's going to be expanding the role-playing podcast horizons. Yeah, so congratulations, Kent. From what I understand is there was some beef, like Kent kind of left like how Dr. Dre left Death Row to start Aftermath. That's pretty much what this is like,
and there ain't nothing after that.
Yeah, so I don't know, hopefully him and the Erie guys can still get along, because I know that Kent has his sights on Fanoff. As far as I know, he's something about how
was he like a sleeper cell or what?
He's talking about how Suge did
Suge did Pac wrong?
Yeah, Suge did Pac and Big. Yeah, I don't know.
I thought you were going to congratulate him on his pool.
Oh yeah, he got a pool.
I thought you were going to congratulate him on being 5 years sober.
What?
That's what the pool is for.
Yeah. Oh, he's I didn't even see that part. Is that real?
No.
Okay, I was like, Jesus.
I'm glad that we had you going on that one, though.
Yeah, we were just slandering.
Celebrates with a pool.
I'm glad you jumped in on that.
Ken's 5 years sober. Yeah, he was really...
I built the pool for myself.
Real loose cannon. Okay, anyways, moving on to that. Congratulations, Kent. And yeah, no, him and Fanoff are cool. It's just a completely different... He just started his own podcast network, so that's awesome. Yeah, that's everything that I got for housekeeping, so we can get on to what we have been seeing and what we've been doing. I have so much fucking news today, and I have a lot to say about our main feature, so yeah, this is going to be a beefy episode, and I'm excited to hear what you guys have been watching. What have you guys been watching, Diego?
I'll go first because I don't have much, because I've been... my brain is the most mush it's ever been, because I've been fucking...
Your hair's starting to turn green.
Everywhere. Yeah, it's teal.
Teal?
Yeah.
Oh, now you're just getting the semantics of color.
It's an ombre. So I know we're a horror podcast, of course. So last night I went and saw Detective Pikachu.
Oh, you see?
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Are we doing that? I guess I'll talk about something.
If he doesn't have that much to talk about, let him speak.
Yeah, talk about whatever. Fuck it. It's Detective Pikachu. There's monsters in it.
Yeah, they're pocket monsters. I liked it, but I wanted to love it, but I didn't love it.
Really? I've heard it's so good.
It was good.
But it's probably really awesome for kids.
I also had a really bad theater experience because the people behind me were so fucking annoying.
I wouldn't expect that at a Detective Pikachu movie.
They were like stoned, they were like stoned high school kids, and they wouldn't shut up. Like they weren't doing it on purpose, like to purposely be annoying. You could just tell that they were like out of it, and like the one guy kept kicking my seat. And you know, that guy was getting so pissed off, but like he wasn't doing it on purpose, so I didn't want to be like that guy.
Did you go to Galaxy?
Yeah, because my friend who I went with, she had a free movie there. Oh, okay. So I was like, fuck it, like let's go see Detective Pikachu. But it was cool. No, the CGI works a lot better than I thought it was gonna. It's definitely takes you down memory lane when you see some of the Pokemon like fully realized.
Does Pikachu really fuck Jigglypuff?
What? No.
Okay.
That's deleted scenes.
Yeah.
Was that actually a thing?
No.
Phil Collins is in the movie though.
Oh.
Just as a brief cameo.
As a Pokemon?
Yeah. No, Jigglypuff is singing at a table and somebody's sleeping and it's Phil Collins.
Oh.
What a weird place. We just want to have you in here, but you're just going to sleep.
Yeah.
I do want to see that movie though.
It was fun. It's definitely worth a watch.
I will not be going to the theater for it though because I'm an adult.
Hey man, a free movie is a free movie.
Yeah. $20 is $20.
Then I watched Happy Death Day to You.
Oh, I was gonna watch that this week.
How was it?
It's good, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I'm especially the kind of person who like usually the more outlandish and crazy it is, the better. This is a movie where it's like it didn't need 90% of the storyline and exposition that it had.
Yeah.
Like it was just like it got to like right when the main plot happened, you're like, this doesn't need to be a thing. This doesn't need to exist, and it kind of made me bitter because I was like, they should have just left it on the first one. Because the first one is great. The second one just, I don't want to spoil it.
It's like super sci-fi is what I
heard. But like, it doesn't need to be.
I get them wanting to do something different, but I haven't seen it yet, so I can't
because
judge
I loved the first one so much, it threw me off, and like, it gets, all horror basically goes out the window.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a horror movie, like, at all. Like, at the very start, maybe, but then right after that, it's like, this isn't horror anymore.
So is it not enough story or too many?
Too much that they're trying to explain, and like they kind of leave it open to another sequel, and it's just like we'll just leave it. I
don't know if that's gonna happen because apparently it didn't do very well at the box office. But
they're Saints Rowing it.
People seem to really like it for the most part.
That's the thing. It was good, but like don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. But
wait, how are they Saints Rowing it?
Because remember how Saints Row was kind of grounded in reality, and then it started getting weirder and weirder, and now it's just completely fucked to the point where
it's different.
It's so out there that it's not even fun really anymore.
I wouldn't really say that the first Happy Death Day was.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I mean. Like where it's like they just keep adding on to the point where it's like
time.
There's too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, okay. I'll talk about it because it's the main plot point. So if it's not really that much of a spoiler. I'm sure
probably in the trailer.
Probably in the trailer. Probably in the synopsis. But yeah. So it turns out the reason why the thing was happening in the first movie is because at the school that Asian kid, like the roommate, built a time machine thing, and for some reason it only worked on her, and but then it also worked on him, but then it didn't work on him, and then there's also doppelgangers and parallel universes, and like she gets stuck in another universe where like her life was better, but it's so fucking.
Because they're crab people.
Yeah, crab people.
Does she want to stay in the better universe?
She does, but then she's like, but I can't.
No more spoilers. Yeah, no more spoilers because I want to see it still, and I'm gonna watch it this week.
Yeah,
I had to choose between that, and like I went between two movies, and I'll talk about when I get to my part.
Yeah. Okay. It's fine. It's a fine movie. I still enjoyed it, but it's like you see it, and even if you pay full attention to it, you're like, I felt like I didn't really pay attention to the movie.
Yeah.
And today actually I watched Await Further Instructions on Netflix.
Why have I heard of this?
It's on Netflix, and I think it was on Shudder too. Yeah, it's not a great movie.
What is it though? Can you explain?
So it takes place. I'm assuming somewhere in the UK because they're all British. But there's this family who they're kind of dysfunctional, and they're all having Christmas. Like they're there for Christmas. They all go to sleep, and they all wake up, and all of a sudden their house is completely like closed off by some weird like material, and their TV turns on. It just says "Wait further instructions," and then the family starts to kind of turn on each other, and like the TV like different instructions appear and stuff, and that you don't really know if it's like someone's quarantining them or if there's aliens or something.
That sounds kind of cool.
It's a cool concept, but man, everyone in the movie is a piece of shit. So like you don't really like. There's no real like. It's hard to get invested in it because you just hate everybody.
There's no stakes for it.
Yeah, and then the ending didn't really make a whole lot of sense. It's a short movie. It was only an hour and a half. But yeah, I wanted to watch it for a while, so I decided today was gonna be the day, and I kind of regret it.
So nah.
Yeah, yes. I wouldn't watch it.
Diego says nah.
Yeah. And then the last thing I'll talk about, I think that's the last thing I got. Oh yeah, Rage 2 came out, so I've been playing that as much as I can.
I feel like a dipshit because Rage 1 was on PSN for
You
free.
should have
last
got it
month,
for free.
and I wasn't gonna get it because I read up some like really terrible things about it.
Rage 1 is awesome.
I know,
It just has a really bad ending. Like bad ending.
I should have fucking downloaded because
Yeah.
it was like that and Conan forever.
Oh, that Conan sucks.
Yeah, I believe it. I've been heavy on Overcooked though.
Yeah, that game's amazing. No, Rage 2 is basically it's Mad Max meets a lot of colors meets open world meets Just Cause meets Doom.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's a lot of meat.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
it's a
meetups.
whole butcher shop. No, it's an open world first person shooter game with a lot of humor, a lot of color, a lot of crazy guns. The BFG from Doom is in it. And yeah, I've been sinking as much time into that as I.
Is it the actual like BFG?
Yep, the BFG 9000. It's the same people who made Doom.
Oh, okay. That's what I
Yeah.
was wondering.
Crazy.
Yeah. And yeah,
Cool. So play Rage 2, and do you need to play Rage 1 to play Rage 2?
not really.
Okay. So go play Rage 2 instead of watching Await Further Instructions. Do you want to go
Are
next?
you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. I actually have a bunch of stuff this time. I watched Pin, A Plastic Nightmare from 1988. It is a Canadian horror film.
Never heard of this.
Pin, like PIN?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It's about a doll at a doctor's office. It's like one of those ones where basically the skin's removed so you can see all the like veins and
Bones?
shit.
Oh.
No, like just the veins and stuff. It's basically if you like skinned somebody, this is what the thing would look like. And it's in this guy's office, and it's a doctor, and he has 2 kids, and he does ventriloquism stuff with it to teach the kids about sex ed. But the one kid has like schizophrenia and thinks that the like pin is actually real. And then a bunch of crazy shit happens. It's actually kind of terrifying.
What led you here? Like this, I'm looking it up right now, and like I have never heard of this. It's very rare that I've like you brought up The Pit that one time.
Yeah.
Like you watched The Pit. I'm like, oh yeah, The Pit is like a super obscure Canadian horror movie, but Pin I've never even heard
I've been
of.
actually on a kick of finding these like weird 80s movies that have just the strangest plots. Like I have a bunch ready to go to watch, but yeah, this one was fun. It has the weirdest soundtrack.
Oh, Pin for Pinocchio.
What?
Like Pin has got to be a play on Pinocchio, because is it not a doll?
Yeah. Well, it's like a human flesh thing.
Do they call him Pin?
Yeah, just Pin.
Yeah,
But they never
Pinocchio.
mentioned Pinocchio. I don't know.
But he is a real boy?
It gets weird. Actually, that is kind of I guess it has that Pinocchio element to it because the kid thinks he's real, and it just gets weirder and weirder. And there's a lot of like weird incest kind of. They kind of hint at incest several times.
Sign
Like
me
Pinocchio,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like Pinocchio.
But yeah, if you want to see some weird Canadian horror, watch Pin. I watched the last episode of On the Trail of Bigfoot finally. I think their last episode is actually their best episode because it's the most grounded one. It's a lot of it talks to like they interview guys who are out in the field doing research as well as actual researchers and people who used to be in the field, and it's people taken from each of the former episodes and just crammed into one. And they kind of talk about how maybe it is real still, maybe it's not. Like the director goes he's very optimistic about it, but they actually kind of bring up a nice subject where they talk about like the people who are doing all the research now because there's no funding for it. Like there actually was funding for it in the 70s. That all died down. So they kind of like got to know all these people, and they're talking like what jobs they did. Like a lot of these people do all this stuff in their spare time. They save up all their money, all their vacation days to go do this stuff. So it's kind of admirable in that way. But yeah, it was a good way to end it, and I think it was actually the best shot of all the episodes too because they have a ton of nature shots in there that look fantastic. I was very impressed. And yeah, at the end of the film, it just has I think it's I don't want to screw up his name. I think it's Steve Breedlove. His last name is Breedlove. The director.
Breedlove?
Yeah.
Whoa.
But yeah, it has at the end, or Seth Breedlove is his name. But at the end, they had like they had written, shot, directed, edited by this guy. Like he did it all, and it's so well done. So like, big props to him for doing all
just
that.
fucking marry him already.
I know.
His last name sounds like a band name.
Breedlove?
Breedlove.
Yeah,
An 80s hair metal band.
Breedlove! Yeah, I like it. Okay, yeah, Boozy, that sounds great. I didn't mean to be a dick.
No, it's just
It sounds cool though.
It's really cool to see people like do everything because they genuinely wanted to do it. So that's kind of where I was
I get it, man. I've been doing it for 3 years with this podcast.
Next thing I watched is a documentary called Missing 411. For anyone who's interested in missing persons cases, it is extremely interesting. It covers one main case and then kind of trails off to a bunch of other smaller ones that all happen in this one area, and they're like so unexplained as to how like bodies got somewhere or like how people went to certain areas. It's really interesting. I would say one of the most interesting documentaries I would watch. I keep saying interesting. I don't know how else to explain it. It's so well done. I would definitely, if you're really into documentaries, this one is like a home run for sure. So,
Missing 411?
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's actually the guy who made it also wrote a book called Missing 411, and I've been trying to get it because it's just a bigger book about all these missing persons cases and all the details that go into it, but it's like out of print and it's hard to find. Like the cheapest copy I found was like $200.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's super interesting. What else did I watch? I watched Texas Chainsaw 2003.
Texas
The
Chainsaw
Jessica
Massacre.
Biel one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Marcus Nispel one.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I had seen this movie. It had to have been like 2004 when I watched
Really?
it. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Like
Did
first,
you, so you like? Did
it
you like
was
it?
incredible.
I fucking love that
I
movie.
remember it being good, but it is so good. And it's really interesting is that it kind of started off the whole like remake reboot thing.
Yeah.
Because it kind of came out before most of the other things did.
Yeah, it totally did. That was like one of the first Platinum Dooms.
Yeah.
Sorry, Domino's
And
is just
and
getting at you. It's getting at you, boy.
I definitely think like I don't remember what the reaction was to it when it came out, but like it is such a worthy
It's one of those
movie compared to
Yeah.
the original.
Oh,
I would
man.
say.
That's a movie that destroyed my sister. Like, my sister actually can't watch horror movies because of that movie. Like, she went to it in theaters and my dad had to pick her up because she was crying.
Yeah,
Like,
it's still
scary.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking scary, and it's so effective. And like, what I loved about it is how like relentlessly bleak it is, and like that's like it keeps like certain elements of the original, and then it's totally a Hollywood remake of it. So, but it looks good.
I think it's done in the best way, though. Like, I'm not saying that it's better
It's
than
by
the original.
far the best Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake.
Yeah.
Like by far.
I think
Or
it's by
sequel.
far the best one. Other than the first one.
Oh, okay, Jesus.
Well, no, because you said remake. I was like, all the art stuff. Like,
Yeah,
it
no,
is definitely
it's-
the best thing to come out of that, other than the original.
I fight for two, but it is great. It's a completely different kind of movie. But no, yeah, man, I love that remake, and it's one that like I remember a lot of people. It's kicked off the remake hate.
Yeah.
like people, because they're the people who like are constantly going to compare it to the original. It's like, just don't compare it to the original.
I think a lot of people get turned off by the Jessica Biel thing because this is totally not something that she would do,
I-
but
Yeah.
she did so well.
I know, and like I said, because I will rewatch it a couple of years ago or like a year ago or something. I talked about it here, and I said that it was Jessica Biel's only good movie, and I remember we got some heat online for that. But like, I do think that she's like abnormally good in that movie.
What
Like,
else is she in?
She's in a TV show called The Sinner, which is really good. She's in Chuck
was she
and
Dark
Larry.
Angel?
Chuck and Larry.
Yeah, she was in I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't know what Dark Angel is.
I think I might just be thinking of
Seventh
like making
Heaven?
up a show in
Okay,
my
because
head.
she was in Seventh Heaven.
Or like La Femme Nikita or something? No, that
No,
was
I
her.
think you're thinking of
Jessica Jones.
no, you're thinking of Affleck's ex-wife, Electra.
Jessica.
13 going on 30.
What's her name?
Jesus, Jennifer.
We're really
no,
bad at this.
Jennifer Lawrence? No.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Jennifer Garner.
Yeah, Jennifer
That's
Garner.
it.
That's who it is.
There's too many J's in the film industry.
Yeah, we got to get rid of some J's here.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a killer movie. I love that movie. And it genuinely fucked me up when the guy from Grind gets put up on the meat hook.
Yeah.
I actually spent, like, me and Nicholas, like our former guest Nicholas Humphreys,
Mhm.
I spent, like, a good portion of a day talking to him about how they did the suicide scene in that. Because
Like with the bullet hole?
Yeah, the bullet hole scene.
He
because
knows
it's-
the people who worked on it or something?
No, I was just asking him about it. I was
Oh.
like, how did they do this? And we were trying to
Oh,
figure
like
it out.
put the camera through its head?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
because we were trying to figure out where they cut to start another scene.
Yeah.
So that was super interesting. Like
That-
best part of that movie is when the Leatherface is wearing the boyfriend's face.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and it's that fucking mutant from
Yeah.
from Backcountry. The guy with the huge face.
Yeah.
Eric Belfour.
That movie freaked me out. It made me scared of that camera noise. That
Oh, yeah. We are the savages.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's what was I gonna say? You should if you like that though, I want to hear what you think. I really want to do like a Texas Chainsaw retrospective and do all the movies because I own them all now.
There's not that many either, so it's not like it's like that tall of an order.
Yeah, but I want you to watch the beginning too, like the one that came after. No, that's oh my god, that's a new generation, next generation.
Yeah.
No, wait, but the beginning is the second.
That's
remake.
one I gave you.
Yeah. Then there's the one you gave me is Texas Chainsaw 2.
Oh, okay.
But I bought Next Generation, which was very stupid of me.
Was it at least like a Scream Factory release?
Yeah, it was $32.
Well, you know what's worse is I bought 3D.
Yeah, and see, that's
I have all of them except for 2 now.
3D is the only one that I don't have because I don't count Leatherface. Have you guys seen Leatherface?
I still haven't. I know it's on Netflix now and everything. I just haven't been bothered to.
Sucks.
Yeah, you talked about it on one episode, and I still want to see it.
Yeah, you will hate it. Though.
You just reminded me that I did watch that movie. I totally forgot about that.
It's fucking terrible. What? No, but I want to hear what you think about the beginning because it's like that one is just like so brutal, and it came after the 2004 remake.
I'll have to watch that.
And I also want you to rewatch the Friday the 13th remake and give it another day in court because I'm not going to say it's better than Texas Chainsaw Massacre because I don't think it is, but like there's some really good shit in that movie.
And I want you to rewatch The Hills Have Eyes.
That's probably the best remake.
Yeah.
And I want you guys to watch Dudley the Dragon season 1.
Is that a real thing?
You might do Dudley the Dragon?
Oh, that's a Canadian thing.
I thought Dudley the Dragon was a fucking movie.
No, that was Smuff the Bird.
Puff the Magic
Dragon. Smurf the Bird. Oh my god.
Puff the Magic Dragon was I always thought it was a TV show, but I just looked it up the other day, and it turns out it was just made for TV movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, now everyone knows.
Yeah. Fred Penner.
And then the last thing I watched the first 2 episodes of Chernobyl.
Chernobyl.
For me, this is one of the best TV shows I've ever seen. This is must-see TV for me every week.
Is this a documentary or is this like a horror?
It's
series?
Like a drama.
Oh,
it's played out almost like a horror movie, which is the cool part.
It's made by HBO too. So.
I don't have Hulu.
I don't think anyone does. I don't think Hulu is HBO.
Oh.
Yeah, no, we're gonna watch Chernobyl this week as well.
Yeah, episode 3 came out last night. I haven't watched it yet, but this is no word of a lie. We watched the first episode after we finished the last episode of Game of Thrones, and then we watched the second episode the day after. I was more excited for episode 2 of Chernobyl than I was for the ending of Game of Thrones.
Well,
but I was really excited for the end of Game of Thrones, but Chernobyl is that good of a show. It's fantastic.
Would you say it's better or worse than the Chernobyl Diaries?
Chernobyl Diaries can't even wipe its butt.
No.
That's all I've seen.
Okay. I got a couple things this is going to be different than most weeks because most of what I have is other podcasts. Eli Roth's History of Horror. I talked about this it's on Shudder, and I watched it when it was on AMC.
Where all the cool movies go.
Yeah, well, it's just a documentary series. If for some reason you're a horror fan and you want just watch History of Horror. It's amazing.
I just like the way for some reason you're a horror fan. That's the way you worded that.
Well, no, I'm just it's one of those things that's just so I'm everyone should have seen this by now.
Okay, so you're getting good content out of it.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. And
it's not just going these movies are good.
Okay, but here's the thing. Okay, so there's the TV show. I've already talked about the TV show on here. There's now a podcast where it's all basically just unedited conversations or lightly edited conversations that they had from the making of History of Horror. So they have people there is episodes. The first episode's with Stephen King. They have Edgar Wright, Quentin Tarantino, Diablo Cody, Brian Fuller, Tony Todd. That's all that's out right now. But these are fucking awesome.
Does it redeem him for Green Inferno?
Yeah. Here's the thing. Eli Roth is an amazing. He's an amazing personality for TV and everything, and he's very good at interviewing people and getting. He's such a likable guy. I don't understand how he makes such trash movies. But I like Cabin Fever quite a bit. But that's
well, that was the original one.
Yeah, I don't know. He did a really good job on this, and he's first and foremost a true fan of horror, and that's the coolest thing about him. And I can't tell you how awesome it was to listen to Quentin Tarantino and Eli Roth talk about horror movies for 2 hours. That's amazing. I'm a huge Tarantino fan, and I've always wanted to. I know he likes horror movies, but. Didn't
he wanted to make a horror movie?
He wanted to make a Friday the 13th movie. But the coolest thing about this too is that like there's countless times in the Tarantino interview where Eli Roth is like trying to bring up Inglourious Bastards or Pulp Fiction, and he like wants to talk about like Eli Roth's movies, and Quentin just immediately turns it to a different movie that he loves. And he's like, he doesn't want to talk about himself, and he's just like, it makes you like him that much more. But then he also throws down some really outlandish hot takes, like how It is a ripoff of Nightmare on Elm Street and stuff like that. So it's like but that's what Tarantino is. Like he's always
a hot take machine.
Yeah, he is. And but like there's such good shit in there. And the Edgar Wright episode was really awesome because like you obviously know like he created Shaun of the Dead
trilogy.
Yeah, and like the Stephen King one was. There's 2 different podcasts now that you can go to listen to Stephen King talk in depth, which is something that doesn't happen all that often. The other podcast I was going to say is Postmortem with Mick Garris had Stephen King on last week to talk about the anniversary of the Stand miniseries. So I listened to that, and then I listened to the History of Horror with Stephen King.
Is Stephen King as like weird and like kind of crazy as he is on Twitter? Like when he podcasts?
Yeah, he's pretty unfiltered.
I love his Twitter.
Yeah,
he's fucking weird.
He's so likable in front of a microphone. Like he talks about like one of my favorite quotes that came from it is Stephen King even says in the History of Horror, he's just like, the worst horror movie I ever saw was fucking awesome. Like that's like he just likes everything. Just likes it. Like and that so that
he didn't say what it was though.
No, he was just saying like he just loves horror and like he just will. If he says that there's lots of he said in the interview that there's times where he'll go to Rotten Tomatoes, and if a horror movie has really low scores, he's like, that's the one I'm going to this weekend. Like he gets excited about that because he doesn't think he's one of those people. It's like not everyone should agree on something.
Especially like we've talked about this so many times, but horror being like the most subjective genre of movies. So
yeah, totally. And like that's a good point too to bring up is that. There's all these podcasts with different horror people and the History of Horror. Like I'm not gonna lie, and I don't think that I know everything about horror, but I've listened to enough podcasts. I've like dedicated enough time in my life with even this podcast and before this podcast, just being a fan. Like there's so much retread in this media, like of people being like I don't need to hear people be like, oh, the comparison to comedy and horror and this movie was a socio-political subtext of the Iraq War or something like that. It's like sometimes I just want to hear people talk about horror movies, and that's what's so cool about History of Horror is like they are just talking about movies, and it's awesome.
I have a question for you.
Yep.
Or maybe it's more of a hypothetical. Like, how much coochie do you think Stephen King got in his heyday?
Before or after the accident?
I had a full mouth of beer mid coochie. Oh my god,
mid coochie.
But like, what do you think he like got a lot?
I don't
like. Do you think horror writers from the '80s were just like swimming in trim?
See, the thing is with Stephen King though, it's like like. He wasn't like a rock star type person really though.
He kind of was though. Well, he loved hair metal and shit like that. And he like had concerts and he loved cocaine.
But like he for sure
smashed.
Yeah, that's what I want to know is like because he always writes about like crazy sex in a lot of his books.
You know what? You bring up a good point. The way that he writes about sex in books makes me convinced that he has never had sex before, and he has a son. So like we can settle the debate that he has at least had sex once.
Could be a test tube baby.
Had sex once.
No,
yeah, that's no.
I bet he's just like he probably has just tried it all.
Yeah, I don't know.
All the flavors.
Like a secret bondage dungeon in his house.
Well, if we ever get
just to try it though, like not like every day. Anyway,
if anyone can get the answers, please let us know.
Let's get Stephen King on the podcast. That'll be the first question.
You think summer 2019 is going to be the summer of pegging?
Okay, I'm going to move on. So yeah, a bunch of good horror podcasts to listen to. Other than that, I had to choose between one of two. Or no, sorry, I got two more things to talk about. I'll shut up.
But you have to Prodigy. Talk. You just said you had to talk, but now you have to shut up.
Yeah, no.
The movie The Prodigy?
I saw The Prodigy. Okay. So it was between The Prodigy or Happy Death Day to You. We were deciding which movie we were going to watch last night, and for some reason we chose The Prodigy.
The fuck is The Prodigy?
It came out this year, and it's
I have not even heard of it.
Yeah, you've seen the poster.
You would see the poster. Yeah.
But because it went to theaters and everything. But it's starring Taylor Schilling of Orange Is the New Black fame, like the chick from that show. Director Nicholas McCarthy, who made films like The Pact, and he also did a segment in Holidays. It was also written by Jeff Bueller, who was the guy who wrote the most recent Pet Sematary remake.
Oh, cool.
Yes, good joke.
I was hoping no one would do it. It's so low-hanging fruit.
So this feels reminiscent of those evil kid movies like The Good Son, Orphan, Case 39, and I don't know if anyone remembers this movie or if I'm the only one who can recall this movie existing, but it made me think of this movie from the 90s called Mikey. You guys know anything about this?
Why does it sound familiar?
It's like this family adopts this kid and then finds out that he's a serial killer. But I rented it from Family Video when I was a kid, and it scared the shit out of me.
But is he a serial killer, or is
the kid?
The kid is a serial killer, or is it like an orphan thing where he's actually like a 40-year-old man in it?
That's not what that is. But okay, so okay.
Would you recommend The Prodigy?
Here's the thing. The Prodigy is one of those movies that is so fucking stupid that I couldn't help but love it.
You came out the other end on it.
The thing is, I knew nothing about this movie other than the poster. I don't think I even saw the trailer. And I'm going to tell you what it's about because I don't know if the trailer tells you this, but this is in the first 10 minutes of the movie. So Courtney was bragging about how she called it, and I was like, there's no way that's what this is. That's so fucking dumb. So the movie opens up with Taylor Schilling and her husband are having a kid, and they're going into labor. And
both of them at the same time?
Yes. Okay, shut up. And then it also cuts to a serial killer who has a thing for cutting off women's hands and appendages, and he gets gunned down by the police. And this is all in the first 10 minutes, and it's cutting between these two things.
Oh no, I already know where this is going.
It is a reincarnation story of the moment he dies, the kid is born, and he's battling with the kid's soul to take over.
Wait, how do they show that?
It's like a possession story. It is okay. So
how do they show that he's?
I'll tell you. Have you seen Orphan?
Yes.
You've seen this movie. It's the exact same fucking movie, and it follows every single.
And it got a wide release.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's
I'm tempted to watch this.
It is super fucking cliche. It checks off every single check mark in the book of the cliche evil horror kid trope. It's like all of those movies that you've seen before, down to the kid speaking Hungarian. It's how does he speak Hungarian? It's
so they did a time travel thing, so he's actually a viable threat.
No, it's. No, I don't know. I think.
Well, no, because you have to go forward in time.
You have to have a time jump.
Yeah, you have to have a time jump. You can't just be
it's not just a
why
baby.
Why is this baby trying to scratch me?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, he starts acting up around the age of 8, and that's where the movie really takes hold. But the thing is, this movie's treated dead seriously, and it's shot quite well, and it has a really good score. And the actors are all competent. I think the kid kind of was I
was gonna say, how is Taylor Schilling out of Orange Is the New Black? I haven't seen anything
She was good. She was good.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't like her in Orange Is the New Black, and I didn't like Orange Is the New Black either.
Do you think that they got her just to get that crowd in?
Well, 100%. But I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing though: is that this movie is so fucking stupid. But it's treated so seriously that I was I couldn't help but think about him. Man, there's got to be bloopers of the actors delivering these lines super seriously and just not being able to control it, because I'm there's no way there's no way these actors are this is fucking awesome.
Who gave that baby a knife?
But man, I don't know. It's still good. It's a decent movie. But there is a few scares in it that genuinely got me. There was one where I had chills from the tip of my hair to my toes.
This is a weird amount of praise for this movie.
I know, but the thing is, it's fucking weird.
This is going to be on his top 10.
No, who knows? No. Okay, here's
I haven't seen it, so I can't judge.
Here's what I'm trying to say to people listening and to you guys. If you liked Orphan and you want more of that, you can watch this. Orphan is better, but not by much. But it's the same kind
Orphan is the New Black?
Okay, I will give you a high five for that one. That was good. Either ways, there's specifically one scene that is just where I was holy shit, it actually scared me because it was just so unsettling to see.
What's the kills like? Inventive or just stabbings?
No, it's where the creepiness lies is in its eeriness and the kid lurking around and can he hear them? What's he doing now? It's the whole idea behind it, but you do have to buy into the fact that it's a reincarnation story, and they treat it like that's not a fucking insanely dumb thing.
If the movie right off the bat is like that, then I think I could get in a movie like that easier.
And the thing is that's good on the director Nicholas McCarthy, because even the writing and the acting is it's still a very watchable movie. I don't know if I said it's a bad movie. It's stupid. But I give it 3 out of 5 on Plex. Like Plex. I think there might be a time in 10 years where on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
I think there might be a time far down the road where I will watch this movie again.
Well, I kind of want to watch it.
Well, yeah, I think you'll get a kick out of it. Especially there's one scene that I want memes of. It's a very meme-worthy scene. Okay.
It's funny you mentioned the Prodigy real quick. So I dyed my hair blue.
Firestarter.
Well, it's in that vein. When I dyed my hair blue the day before I went to Toronto, and then when we get there, me and Alex like step off the subway, and this guy, he must have been on crack, runs up to me, points at my hair. He's like, "The Prodigy, rest in peace, man," and then ran off. And I was just like, "Great."
That is fucking funny. I would have liked to be there to see that. Okay, last thing is, since Diego talked about Detective Pikachu, I'm just going to say a quick few things about John Wick 3. I went and saw John Wick 3. Holy fuck, you guys. It is awesome. Like, you guys have both seen John Wick 1 and 2, right?
I've only seen one.
Did you guys
I love number 1. I don't
know why I never watched 2.
No, me too. And the thing is, like, I have all the resources to watch 2. I've never just
you gotta watch
down
it. Yeah,
and been
the
like...
thing is, 3 is better than 2. I wouldn't say it's better than 1, but the thing is, that's just because 1 has the whole origin, and like it's 1's just a really special movie, but so is John Wick 3. John Wick 3 is balls to the wall, fucking crazy. I think it's one of the best action movies I've seen in a theater. Like it lives alongside, for me. You guys know how much I love the Mission Impossible movies, especially the last couple.
How does it compare to Fury Road?
Yeah, we don't do that.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, and like nothing compares to Fury Road because it's not. It's because it's nothing like Fury Road. It's a martial arts gung fu movie. Gung fu. There's some of the most inventive ways he finds a way to kill people with everything. Like it's fucking insane. And so it was an amazing theater experience. I saw it at 3. It was sold out all weekend. I could only get tickets for 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And within 20 minutes, the entire audience, it felt like we were all there together because everyone was just like, oh, because it's so...
Oh, that's a good time.
Oh, yeah. It's a super good time. And, I really like John Wick 2, but I know a lot of people didn't. But, and if you guys watch it, John Wick 2 is definitely the slowest of the 3, and it's still fucking got crazy action, but they tried putting a lot of storyline into 2. And 3, they pretty much, the storyline is 10% of it, and that's the way it should be.
I like that you had a good theater experience with it, because that's something that you can't replicate, especially in like a home setting. Even if you have a couple people over, it's not the same. Yeah. Because we always talk about having like Diego was talking about having a bad theater experience. We always talk about how it can kind of bomb a movie. Oh, but it's cool totally that you guys had like a very you and Courtney had a very interactive.
Well, and there's certain movies too where it's like
I was crying, I was laughing so hard.
Well, and there's certain movies too where it's like when the crowd is loud and stuff. It almost adds to it, like Avengers. Like when people were like basically cheering once something happened. Yeah, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" This makes it. I got goosebumps because like everyone was in it because I could tell that everybody in the theater who was cheering had been riding along since the beginning with me. So when this all went down, you're like, "Yeah, like that's exactly how it should be."
And I think that might be the reason why I love Insidious 3 as much as I do, because I had an amazing.
Oh, you saw it in theaters? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And like that, because by all means, that's not the best Insidious movie, but it's my favorite. And I think it's because the theater experience I had for that, for whatever reason, I was just in the right place at the right time. That whole theater was eating it up, and like everyone was shuddering at the same time. It just worked so well. So it's awesome to have a good theater experience. And obviously, I saw it at Landmark. Can't complain about anything.
And that's
there.
the thing. Like I fuck Galaxy, man.
Yeah, fuck it.
It's so bad because even at Landmark, like there's never really a point where you're like sitting like really directly in front of everyone. So there's no one gonna be kicking your seat.
There's so much room.
Yeah, there's no one's fucking. And it's, as much as I hate to say it, like since it's in such a nicer area, like. It kind of cuts out all the riffraff. Well, it's not right across the street from the fucking lighthouse.
Well, they don't have security guards outside of Landmark.
Yeah, so they don't need them.
Like, yeah. Okay, and last thing I'll say about John Wick 3 is Boozy. There is some really fucking good boys in this movie. There's some really good boys in that movie.
Like more than one?
More than one.
Oh my god.
Oh man, and that's like why I think you should just go home, just get, like John Wick 2 is still awesome, but just get it over with so you can go see John Wick 3, because there is like, and it's, man, Halle Berry's in that movie and she fucking crushes it. I've never seen Halle Berry. Like, I've never liked Halle Berry in a movie before. Like, I don't know. What
about Swordfish?
No, she's terrible. That movie
Yeah,
is
you
awful.
see her topless.
Yeah, like that was fine when you were 10.
What about the James Bond one she was in with Pierce Brosnan?
That was
Die
the
Another
worst
Day?
James Bond movie.
Die Another Day.
You know what sucks? That's the first James Bond movie I saw.
Oh, that
and that's
sucks.
why I don't like James Bond movies.
Okay, that is not it. That is the absolute worst.
I
but-
know.
No, and she was great in Monsters Ball, but like, and I don't mind her as Storm, but okay, let's get on to news. So, Boozy, can you hit me with that motherfucking newsies?
Yowie wowie. Oh, it's wonderful. It's time for news again. Yay.
Yowie wowie.
Lionsgate and Chris Rock are restarting the Saw franchise.
Well, Chris Rock has a reimagination.
Yeah, and it'll be directed by Darren Lynch Boseman.
Darren Lynn Bousman.
Darren Lynn. He filmed or he
Saw
directed
2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, 3 of the other Saw films in this franchise.
I think it was 2, 3, and 4.
And yeah, which were some of the better ones.
Yeah.
I mean,
And ever since then, he's been torturing people in real life. Like, he's the guy who, he got into, like, immersive theater. So he had, like, have you seen that? Oh, yeah, I'm not even going to go there because this will send me down a rabbit hole of hatred. But I am the 1% who hates the movie The Game by David Fincher.
Yeah, you really
Like, you guys have seen The Game, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Michael
Douglas? Yeah. So he's doing, like, real life The Game shit.
Neat.
And, like, putting people in sex cults and stuff like that.
Just for art or just because he's
art
crazy?
And, art.
It's for art.
I don't know how they actually turned out, but he did multiple versions of them, and like one of them was like it lasted a year, and he'd have actors show up at their houses, at these people's houses who'd sign up, and it would be like their birthday,
and yet R. Kelly gets fucking arrested for this shit.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God! Fuck no.
Fight for my fucking life.
Weird hot take.
Yeah. Okay.
Pet Sematary will be hitting Blu-ray this July, so you can get your copy of it. And it also will come with an alternate ending. So if that entices you to pick it
Well,
up.
if it's that ending that I read about, then I don't give a fuck. It's that ending that.
We will be getting our first trailer for Terminator Dark Fate Thursday morning.
Man, you should be excited about that.
Why?
Produced by James Cameron, directed by Tim Miller.
Yeah, Tim
Oh,
Miller's
is it?
Deadpool.
Oh shit. Okay.
It's gonna be awesome. I just know it. I just know this is gonna be the one.
I stopped paying attention to the Terminator.
Sarah Connor is back.
Do you see real?
And
you
she
see,
is back, yeah.
See Arnold Schwarzenegger get drop kicked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that pissed me
Yeah,
off.
that was so
made
fucking stupid.
You
made
know
me-
that kid got handed
Yeah.
after.
Oh man, like when
That
the
made me
cameras
so
cut,
mad.
like they probably took him away and beat the shit out of him.
Oh my God, it pissed me off so
Yeah.
bad.
But Arnold was like, he's like, I thought the crowd just bumped into
Yeah.
me.
Still, like, just always flexing.
Yeah.
Always
But
flexing.
in a really classy way, he said he's not going to sue the guy or
yeah, it's
have
'cause
any
he's-
action taken against
it's
him.
'cause
Because it
other
probably
than-
already happened.
Other than cheating on his wife with a maid, he's a saint.
Yeah, that's true. Have you seen his son, like the love child?
No,
Looks just fucking like him.
really?
Yeah, like there's no way you could even like be like, that's not my kid, because it's like you look at him and it's Arnold Schwarzenegger with
This
just
little kid.
darker skin.
Oh,
Hello,
crazy.
mother.
I'm gonna look
It's
it up
like
when you
in
guys are-
Meet the Fockers with Ben Stiller as that kid, and it's the kid from he plays Pablo in Ash vs Evil Dead because he looks like Ben Stiller but brown.
The Invisible Man is getting a 2020 release, and it's going to be fighting against Godzilla vs. King Kong. They're literally coming out the exact same time.
That's crazy.
Not a good. That sucks.
Yeah, not a great idea.
No.
So
That's
look
weird.
forward to that.
Oh, weird.
That's his son. That's his
Shit.
love child. Here, real quick, Boozy.
Oh,
It's him.
it's him with curly hair.
Yeah.
Lionsgate's already getting the ball rolling on John Wick 4, which will be released in 2021.
Yeah, and it's inevitable because if keep making him that good, then
That's
yeah.
cool.
But
That's just
wasn't
a little
this-
franchise.
Wasn't this supposed to be like the final chapter?
I have no idea. I didn't know that John Wick was supposed to go. I didn't know we were going to get a John Wick 2.
I knew we were getting a trilogy. After the first one, they did announce that it was going to get a trilogy, but
I don't know when when I watched it when it first came out. That's surprising to think about. Like, oh, there's gonna be 4 of them.
well,
now?
that was during the Keanu Renaissance.
Yeah. We
Wait,
got our
what
first.
the fuck else did Keanu do?
I don't know.
There's no Keanu Renaissance.
But I mean, like,
Wasn't
where's
that
John
Knock Knock
Wick?
movie?
But people,
Yeah, that's a terrible fucking
Yeah, we
movie.
don't talk about
But
that.
I love that movie. It's so bad.
But that was kind of like when everyone was like, "Wait, we do love Keanu." Remember?
because he rules.
Yeah, I know. But before that, people were kind of like nobody really talked about him anymore.
Yeah, everyone just makes fun of him, which sucks.
Well, because he's always sad.
Because he's not always sad.
What?
There was one picture taken of him where he looked sad, so everyone assumed he's always sad.
My God, we need to help Keanu.
Do you know he met Kenny Omega?
Did he? Actually?
Yeah, Kenny Omega tells a story about it on their show.
Does he know who Kenny Omega is?
No, he was like, "Oh, you guys wrestlers or something?" Like, yeah, he does. Kenny Omega does a perfect Keanu Reeves impersonation.
We got our first trailer for Brightburn.
And that's in my news.
We didn't get our first trailer.
Yeah, this is the second
one. Second one.
And that was in my news. Is that comes out this weekend? So I'm going.
It looks so good.
I haven't watched the second trailer, like the Red Band trailer.
It's.
I'm not watching it. I'm going to the movie.
I want to fuck with this movie.
I will be going to it this Friday.
Yeah, I'm going. I think I'm gonna go Saturday afternoon.
I can't wait.
We got our first full trailer for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Quentin Tarantino's ninth.
I haven't seen it yet.
Same thing.
It just dropped. It just dropped today.
It's a very long trailer.
Fuck. See, that's another one where I said today, I'm like, because it came out today, and I'm like, I don't need to, there is a 0% chance I will not be at a new Quentin Tarantino movie on opening night.
Yeah.
Why do I need to watch a trailer?
I looks like two completely different movies in the trailer.
That's most of Tarantino's movies.
It's so weird.
Tarantino said that it's going to be the closest thing he's done to Pulp Fiction, where it's a bunch of stories and stuff.
Sick. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's all I got. I'm sure you got a lot more.
Yeah, there was also a trailer for It Chapter 2.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
I haven't watched it.
Really?
I don't want to watch it.
I watched it. It looks cool.
I don't want to watch it because I know I'm going to see it. It's the same thing.
Same thing. Okay, because it's they did the whole one scene from it. It's one.
Which was really impressive.
It was.
In that one scene, I was scared.
Well, yeah,
it was scary.
It's creepy, and they do a good job of showing Jessica Chastain as an adult. You see all the adults. I don't know. Well, of course it looks good.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Trailer.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah, stoked. So yeah, It Chapter 2. Obviously, all of us are on board. Rest in peace to Peggy Lipton, who played Norma on Twin Peaks. That was a bummer. And it's also Rashida Jones's mom.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? She's got
amazing.
Weird combination of parents.
Yeah,
but good, amazing parents. But it
worked.
Yeah,
it worked. Rashida Jones is number one bae.
Yeah.
Well, up there with Halsey.
Quincy Jones.
What is it you and Halsey lately?
I fucking love Halsey so much. I've loved Halsey since the diaper days.
He actually has. The what?
Remember we saw her in Pemberton and she was wearing a diaper.
Oh,
what?
I knew you were talking about Pemberton, but I forgot about the fact that she had
Well, she was wearing a diaper. But I was weirdly, I'm still into it.
New King.
And I legitimately love her music. I really like her music, but it's a soft spot for me. Anyways, game developer Supermassive Games, the folks behind Until Dawn, have announced their first installment in their anthology series of games, the Dark Pictures Anthology. The first one is titled The Man from Medan, I think. Medan? Medan. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I'm sure it's Medan.
Yeah, there's a trailer for it. It's looking like the price is going to be $30 a game, which is dope. I am in for that. The first game hits August 30th. And yeah,
why do I not know about this?
They just announced it 2 hours ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was I didn't see this anywhere.
Hopefully you heard this here, folks. Folks. Anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I was getting some major I Still Know What You Did Last Summer / Ghost Ship vibes.
So is it a style?
Well, I'm on board now.
Is it in the same style as Until Dawn?
It's Until Dawn, but for me, Until Dawn was a 10 out of 10 for me. I just had such a good time with it. I loved that game, and I want more from it. So it's the same team doing it, and they're going to be doing multiple different mini movies, basically like an anthology, and I think that's really cool.
Oh, I hope to do a werewolf one.
Yeah, but it's probably something like that. But I don't know. I'm really looking forward to that. So other than that, also launching on August 30th on Netflix is the Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance. Were you guys Dark Crystal fans or Jim Henson?
I was a Labyrinth fan. But
well, everyone's a fan of Jim Henson.
Well, that's what Dark Crystal's his magnum opus to some people. I know it's not no, but there is a huge Dark Crystal fan base.
There is.
Dark Crystal scared the living fuck out of me when I was a kid. And I still love that movie, so I'm looking forward to seeing this. There's screenshots of it, and there's images that you can check out on bloodydisgusting.com. I have in my notes because I screenshotted the cast. You guys need to hear this. Okay, so the voice cast of this new Dark Crystal Netflix series: Taron Egerton from Kingsman and the new Elton John biopic. He's in it. Anya Taylor-Joy from The Witch. Nathalie Emmanuel from Game of Thrones. I don't know which character that is, though. I'm not familiar with that name. Anyways, we also have Helena Bonham Carter, Natalie Dormer.
Oh,
yeah, Mark Strong. Alicia Vikander from Tomb Raider.
shit.
Alicia Keys?
Yes,
Well,
no.
Tomb Raider, but also more importantly, Ex Machina.
Yes, sorry. Yeah, that's weird that I let off with that. The Skeksis, like those creatures from the Dark Crystal, and the Mystics, they're going to be voiced by Mark Hamill, Jason Isaacs, Keegan-Michael Key.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Where did they get all the money for this?
Simon Pegg and Andy Samberg.
Holy shit! What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
so,
add up the totals of how much it would cost for this fucking...
man, it's Jim Henson though, and like these, like the Dark. That's what I'm saying is the Dark Crystal played a huge role in a lot of people, their lives growing up.
Yeah,
so,
no Mike Patton. That's a shame.
Yeah. You just
Even the
can't.
sound of footsteps.
You can't ever be happy, can you?
No, I need Mike Patton and everything.
Okay. Well, either way, yeah, I'm stoked for that. Other than that, I also have that they released the new poster for the new Annabelle movie. I think Annabelle Comes Home.
And there's a werewolf and a samurai in it.
Yes. And so
What?
basically, well, like you now know that The Conjuring
Conjuring
3 is going to be based around the story of a man who believed he was a werewolf. That's what The Conjuring 3 is going to be.
What's a samurai?
Which
I
is
know.
also the plot of Where?
Yeah, but this is like based on one of those Elaine Warren. It's
But what's the plot
One of those
uh,
bullshit.
What's the plot of there?
What?
where.
Where?
Okay, basically what I've read is that this new Annabelle movie is basically going to be Night at the Museum, but of the Conjuring movies.
That's why
Like-
the tagline's like "possess them all" or something.
Yeah, like look, I also screenshotted this.
Yeah.
Like there's every fucking character in behind it, and I'm so on board. Like I think the trailer did not look good at all.
I still haven't seen the trailer for
Okay,
it.
well,
I still have trailer did not look good.
I didn't think it looked good, but I've heard that it's awesome because I know someone who's seen it. But it's yeah, I'm looking forward to it with that synopsis and like that poster. It's pretty cool. We were talking about this off air, but Tom Savini designed Corey Taylor of Slipknot's new mask.
Mm-hmm.
He also
Didn't he do
designed some
everybody's?
wrestlers.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt.
He did Bray Wyatt's mask as well.
Yeah, the Yowie Wowie.
Yeah. So I was gonna say some I didn't know who that was, but
Bray Wyatt, yeah.
Bray Wyatt. He's a big deal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's huge.
This,
Especially
he's
where
probably the best part of Raw
he's-
right now.
Yeah, he's doing this whole like
Best
he was-
part of Raw is me.
he was gone for a while, like just kind of disappeared. Like I don't know, was he like injured or something, or just gone?
Yeah, he was injured for a while.
He was injured. Now he came back and he has like a new character. That's basically like an evil Mr. Rogers type thing.
It's
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah,
Does
it's fucking
it, so
cool.
so does his mask look sweet? You guys
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
it?
it kind of. Do you remember that? I don't remember which Batman it is, but it's when the Joker like cuts off his face.
Yeah,
It looks a lot like that.
Oh, like that's like the newer run.
Yeah, yeah.
The death of or what the fuck?
Death in the
it's-
Family?
Yeah, Death in the Family. Scott
it,
Snyder.
Yeah, it looks pretty identical to that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
but
looking
Tom
forward to-
Savini did it.
What do you guys think of Corey Taylor's new mask though? I'm not
I
crazy.
think it looks
about
like shit.
It's boring.
Corey said that like he wanted a mask that looked like somebody made it in their basement, and it's like, well, okay,
Well, yeah.
Let's pay Tom Savini to do that.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
No.
Like, I don't know. I think it's my least favorite of Corey Taylor's masks.
Yeah,
so
everyone
far.
else's masks, new masks.
They're a
look
little
cool.
bit. Yeah, they're cool.
Craig
but
just
they're
looks the
pretty
exact
shiny.
fucking
Yeah.
same with the goddamn needles everywhere. But
Yeah, I don't know. And also, I can say that we are fans of the new song.
Yeah.
I think the new song's awesome. I think it sounds like Iowa, but like it sounds like older guys made Iowa. And that's as a
It's-
Slipknot fan. I
Yeah,
like it.
it kind of does feel in that vein of like the subliminal versus Iowa area.
Yeah, and like that's it. Definitely feels more like that than All Hope Is Gone, which I think was their low point.
All Hope Is Gone is definitely their worst album. It still has some good like stuff. It's still a really
There
good
are,
song.
okay, so even Psychosocial isn't a terrible song,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I prefer the Justin Bieber Psychosocial
Yeah, the
mashup.
mashup. But yeah, All Hope Is Gone is definitely their worst album. It's not a horrible album, but it's definitely their worst.
It's just I don't.
It's the most forgetful.
For me, that's what it sounded like listening to Slipknot try go for radio play.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea how you could say it. Like, it's clear we're shitting on Jeff right now, but I have no.
I'm not.
I am. I have no idea where you could possibly hear the new Slipknot song on any radio.
Maybe it, like only if you
Like-
had like
like Sirius radio?
satellite
Did
radio.
he only
yeah.
listen to the start where it was the opera vocals? Or?
Yeah, it's like it's the hook, the chorus. Yeah, I don't know, because then in between, like the I don't know, the riffs, the drums, everything. It's like, man, this just sounds like Slipknot.
And they got a new percussionist and everything because they kicked
yeah,
the one guy out.
good because he sucked.
Yeah,
That was the one that he used to drum for Against Me, and Against Me actually leaked his
no,
emails.
not the drummer, the percussionist.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay, well then that.
Are you talking about Joey Jordison?
No,
Yeah,
Joey
Joey
Jordison's not. He's been gone.
I know.
for a
That's
while.
what I thought you were talking about for
No,
Against
Joey
Me.
Jordison
He got
rules.
kicked out.
Yeah, he's the best.
Well, then who were you talking about?
I'm talking about the one afterwards who used to drum for Against
Oh.
Me. whose dad sent against me
yeah.
emails.
Oh, really?
So yeah, like he sent him emails being like, my son's gonna go play for a real band now, and like, oh man, it's ridiculous. Anyways, we got so much to talk about still. Early Twitter premiere reactions for Godzilla, the King of the Monsters have been very positive. The word on the street is that it's everything you could want in a Godzilla movie.
I just saw the brand new trailer that premiered during, or I don't know if it premiered, but it played before Detective Pikachu last night.
It's just coming.
Oh my
everywhere.
god! Like,
yeah.
Whoa, you're telling me that they got Matthew Broderick and they got that P Diddy song?
Yeah, come home with me.
Man, I had that soundtrack.
I do too. I still own it.
The
Everyone
remix
had
of
that
the Green Day's Brain Stew.
Yeah. But so there's also apparently a lot of Godzilla and other monsters in this movie. So fans of the 2014 rendition may need to, what I suggest is just maybe go to the bathroom a bunch of times so you don't have to see so much Godzilla, and you could be happy with that. Or just watch the 2014 snooze.
Oh, thank goodness they're talking again.
I'm curious too how this.
Thank goodness, more bullshit military
Yeah,
drama.
the monster's finally gone.
I'm curious and excited to see how this will lead into Godzilla vs King Kong too.
Me too, especially since it's going to be Adam Wingard. Like, the dude is...
Wingard.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really... I was looking forward to Godzilla King of the Monsters. It's Michael Dougherty, and it's another Godzilla movie. But, I got my dick smashed with the 2014 one. Like, that movie sucked so fucking bad. Yeah. But, yeah, I'm really excited for this. Diego tagged us in this. The Collected, Collector 3 is going to be filming this fall. So there's that movie, a sequel, or this is the third one.
Have you watched it yet?
I've watched the first two. I haven't... Wait, the movies or the
Yeah.
Because there's no trailer.
There's no trailer. The movie
No,
hasn't started
no.
filming.
Have you seen the other ones?
Yeah,
Oh,
I like.
They're
them.
good. I like them.
Like, they're fun, dumb fun.
I really like the first one.
I like that guy in it who's in Insidious 4.
Yeah.
I like him. And then the last thing I had was Brightburn is in theaters this weekend, which I'm very excited
I actually found out I have one more thing.
I have something too.
So the first episode of Slasher Season 3 will come out on May 23rd, which if you're listening to this right when this comes out, you'll be about 2 days away. That whole season was directed by our friend Adam McDonald.
Yep.
So go give that a check out. And
So
it's also Canadian.
You confirmed that?
Yes.
Okay, because we were talking about that before.
Yeah, no, it is confirmed that he. I don't know if he wrote all of it. I know he directed the whole thing.
He's also going to be the best man at my wedding when it eventually happens. So
I hope so.
yeah.
Then it'll give me a reason to go.
Also, this Friday, Flying Lotus's new album drops. It's called Flamagra, and it features people like Anderson .Paak, George Clinton, David Lynch, Denzel Curry, and Thundercat.
Oh,
And it's gonna be a real good album.
I like Curry and Pat.
Yeah.
That's a good...
all the singles dropped so far have been awesome.
For some reason, I thought you said Bill Clinton. I was like,
George
what?
Clinton. He's an old like blues jazz guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Black Balloons Reprise is the song that David Lynch is on.
Cool.
Or Denzel Curry, I mean.
That was a dense news week. So, because we were gone last week, so that explains why there's lots of news. But yeah, we will get back on track. And after this, we will be talking about my found footage pick, Ghostwatch. And welcome to our main feature conversation in which we're going to be discussing my found footage pick of the week, Ghostwatch, which came out in 1992. So Ghostwatch aired in 1992 on the BBC and was starring Michael Parkinson, Sarah Green, Mike Smith, Craig Charles, Gillian Bevan, and all of those people were real television personalities who worked for the BBC during the time that this aired on television. This is arguably the first faux horror documentary, and it's predating the Blair Witch Project by 7 years. This TV movie was inspired by the 1938 radio broadcast of War of the Worlds, and it earned the dubious honor of being the very first TV program to be cited in the British Medical Journal as having caused post-traumatic stress disorder in children. I personally feel like this is one of the most brilliant hoaxes in film history, and this program was recorded weeks before it was aired. And the story was based on the Einfeld poltergeist story, which is the same story that The Conjuring 2 is based off of. And so we're going to talk all things about this, but I just kind of wanted to share why I chose this movie for found footage. I feel like this is a movie that not enough people have seen, And I randomly came across it a couple years ago when I first subscribed to Shudder. And Courtney and I were just looking for something to watch one night, and we saw this, and it sounded interesting. So we put it on, and we were captivated. I think we were a little drunk at first, which helped, but we were fucking captivated by the idea of it. So I'm like, how is this going to play out? I feel like this is going to be a huge waste of time, because the way that it was like, it felt like it was, it felt like a 1992 documentary made for TV. Like, it felt real. And that's because to the world at the time, this was real. My true love for this movie came, like, I enjoyed the movie a lot, but it was afterwards when I found out about the effect that it had on the world, it made me like it so much more, and it made me think that this is a movie that a lot of people need to see, and it's one that doesn't come up all the time, and I think that it's very important to discuss this movie in particular in our found footage series.
I hadn't even heard about it until you brought it up, and I remember I looked at the poster and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, and that's why and as I rewatched it last night, I was like, that why I said I was nervous before this, because I was like, oh fuck, Diego and Boozy are gonna fucking hate this, and like, because like I can understand someone not liking it, but at the same time I just think it's so interesting, and it's something so different, and it was something that it really excited me, and it showed me, it genuinely scared me when I watched it with Courtney, and even rewatching it last night, like there are some genuinely frightening moments in this, and I think it's because this movie in particular what's the word? It capitalizes on all of the best things about the found footage genre. I feel like it all relies on the characters in the program selling it, and I think they do a great job because they're just doing their jobs. Like, this is what they did for a living. And so they aired this on Halloween in 1992. I know I said 1992. I feel like an absurd amount of times today. Yeah, but it aired that on Halloween, and no one knew that it was fake. It was all like presented as it was real, and they even used the same BBC phone number. That they did everything weeks prior to this, so they had people call, or they recorded people calling in and talking about their ghost stories, and they spliced that into the show. Everything was set up so perfectly, but during the night that this aired, they received over 30,000 distressed phone calls, all calling the BBC because people were freaking out because they thought it was real. And what they had set up was they had there's a documentary about this movie. That's where I'm getting most of this from. That came out, I think it was Behind Ghostwatch is what it's called. I seeked it out after I saw the movie the first time, but they had like a pre-recorded like answering machine saying, for those of you watching Ghostwatch, that's not real, this is fake or whatever. And like, it obviously was said a lot more elegant than that. But the thing is, with the amount of people calling in, it just clicked into the busy signal. So like most people didn't hear that. And like, so there's so many insane things. Well, and sorry. I know at the very start it says like written by. It's written by, but people who would tune in afterwards didn't miss that whole part. And even like people never pay attention to credits. So like, especially back then, and like, you know, people who are watching broadcast television, they're not conditioned.
Especially like if it's a channel you trust, like if it's BBC, if you're watching this and all of a sudden shit's going like this.
Michael Parkinson, the main host, he was a big deal in the BBC back then. Like, I remember after I watched it, I reached out to Dave Roberts from Erie International, who lives in the UK
Dave.
And he told me, he's like, he never saw it when it came on, but he remembers the impact that it had on people, and like, it's so crazy that this actually worked, even though they didn't intend on it working like this. Like, but at the same time while watching it, I'm like, what the fuck did you think was gonna happen? Because this movie gets so fucking hardcore near the end, where it's just like it starts off so like, there's a lot of little, you know, you hear bumps in the wall, and it's people just explaining things that's going on in their house. But then they talk about pipes and everything. But then it turns onto a full-on like exorcist ordeal. Like, I'm like, I don't understand how this. I feel like this would have been 10 times scarier than The Exorcist for people who were just like tuning in to watch TV one night and had no idea that this was fake. So I feel like it was just expertly crafted, and even though I don't think they meant to do that. But the rumor was that the showrunner was planning on, he wanted to include a high-pitched noise to play during the movie that would make their audience's dogs freak out. It's just like, man, this is punked times 30. Like, but it's just like fucking with an entire
country.
Yeah, it's insane. But that would have been crazy. But I think even without that, Ghostwatch deceived its audience, and I think it's earned its spot in the found footage pantheon to be discussed. I have a lot more to say about this movie. Like, even Michael Parkinson's mom thought that this movie thought that it was real, and it caused a lot of controversy for obvious reasons. But one of the biggest things that it caused controversy over was the 18-year-old boy who had a learning disability and had the mental age of 13 killed himself because of this. Like, he stated it in his suicide note and was basically saying, because like apparently in his house he was hearing pipes in the walls and everything, which is just, the parents called them pipes because it's pipes banging in the walls. And he killed himself and said that if ghosts are real, it drove him so crazy. They say, if ghosts are real, I will be with them forever. And he talked, like, and even his parents were like, he was obsessed with Ghostwatch after it came out, and he believed that it was real, and it literally scared him to death. So yeah, it sounds like I love this thing, and I do, and now I want to hear what you guys think about it. Diego, I can't wait. Let's get it out of the way right now.
I loved it.
Okay, Jesus. I thought you were gonna go. I didn't like it. No, I'm just
kidding. No,
I'm genuinely surprised you liked it.
Really? Why?
Because because it's super dated.
Yeah, but mockumentaries grab me easier than just flat out found footage movies, because it just grounds it a bit more. And yeah, like this movie, if I would have seen this as a kid before, I think personally for me, placing myself in the same shoes I was when I was a kid, this movie would have affected me 100 times more than Blair Witch.
Oh yeah,
yeah, like way more.
And and that's like, it gets a lot of comparison to the Blair Witch Project, and like I think Eduardo Sanchez, the director of Blair Witch Project, has said on record that he'd never watched this beforehand, but apparently some other people say it's not true. Either way, they're both great. They're both great, and like they're different enough. But this movie just so incredibly, it's dated, sure, but it's still insanely realistic. It like makes it better.
Yeah,
that it's dated.
It makes it creepier. It makes it the whole aesthetic of it. And it's funny because Craig Charles actually. Did you guys ever watch Robot Wars?
Yes, I loved Robot Wars.
He's the host of Robot Wars.
Hey, wait, is that the guy who jumps out of the cupboard at the beginning?
Yeah, wearing the beast mask. Yeah,
I knew.
He's the host of Robot Wars.
I recognized him from somewhere.
Because I recognize his voice. Because also, I used, when I worked at HMV anyway, I used to listen to a BBC radio station. Actually, it was the Funk Show with Craig Charles, and it's him. Yeah. So I'm like, why the fuck do I recognize his voice? And then I looked it up, and yeah, he was the host of Robot Wars, and he's the host of that radio station.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I loved that. That made me happy.
It's just so weird that.
But it also just made it that much more realistic because he was himself. He wasn't playing a character. He was playing himself. I thought this movie did a really good job of like explaining like even all their technology and everything at the start. Like it's obviously dated now, but it like made it so much more grounded in reality, and like the little sightings you see of like pipes. And like people, like even 10 years later, were saying like, I think there's like a new sighting here. Like people
are saying that they see pipes in different areas.
Yeah, so I thought that was super cool. I just thought it was like a really well done movie, and I definitely see how in 1992 this basically caused a fucking panic. Yeah,
like it scared me, and I knew it was fake.
I wouldn't say I got scared, but I still like I enjoyed it like a lot, and I'm not scared now, but I fully admit that if I were to have seen this when it came out, it would have scared the shit out of me.
It's just like when I say I was scared, I mean like it was creepy. Like it was genuinely creepy, especially when she's like near the end when Susie starts speaking into a different voice. Yeah.
And all the cat noises.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Boozy, what did you think about Ghostwatch?
I fucking love this movie so much.
Yes. Oh man, I was actually so nervous because I wasn't sure if you guys were smart enough for it. Just kidding.
That's your go-to for it. No, this movie's fantastic. I'm actually bummed out I didn't get to see it or really hear of it sooner.
Yeah.
Well, I talked about it on the show.
No, but I think he means like as a kid.
Yeah. This would have ruined me. But I actually do think it is genuinely scary. It is creepy. It does so many things right. And it's very subtle about it. I feel like a lot of possession movies could really go back to the book on this.
Yeah,
and
it's a fucking clinic.
What's the thing? Like you barely, like you don't even, like especially when you first start watching it, you're like this. It doesn't feel like a possession movie.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't feel like a movie. It feels like you're fucking watching a documentary.
Yeah,
but
it feels like you're watching a TV show.
Yeah, but they're that's the
Halloween.
thing is they're holding your hand through this whole thing, and things are getting more and more bizarre and scary, and the actual people who are supposed to be leading you are like getting
starting to
more
freak out. Yeah,
they're getting more and more afraid.
They're so believable. It's not,
it heightens everything.
It doesn't feel like they're acting.
No.
Like that's
And that's
the
why
best
I like
part.
mockumentaries, because mockumentaries always, I don't know how, but they always seem to pull off the where it doesn't seem like acting. You know what I mean? Better
Yeah.
than just flat out found footage movies.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's I don't want to talk this movie up too much for people, but I felt the same way that you, like how you just described that you wish you knew about it sooner and everything. This for me, like when I remember when Courtney and I watched it a couple years ago, we watched it around Halloween. I'm like, it just proves that there's always something that I haven't seen in this genre that's going to excite me again, and it's going to surprise me.
Like
and
Pin.
Yes, like Finn or the Prodigy. But no, like there's those movies out there, and I think that this is like one of the gems that like a lot of people haven't seen, and I think that if they give it a chance, like there's some good scares in this
It's
show.
crazy the movie got banned for so long.
Yeah, well, it's believable.
Well, yeah,
because-
but at the same time, it's like when did it get unbanned? 2007?
yeah, there's something like I actually thought it was like
Like-
2001 or something.
Okay,
like
well,
that,
either early or mid 2000s. Like that just seems like a crazy time for it to be like people are like boycotting or like banning the movie, basically.
yeah, I don't understand what they thought was gonna happen because like this is genuinely scarier than a lot of like Hollywood horror movies that most people like pay to go see in the
Yeah.
theater.
Like, could you imagine if you turned on CNN tomorrow and they were like, "Yeah, there's a demon in this house"? We'd be like, "What?"
And then how about the guy who calls in and is talking about how he knows the person who
Oh,
lived in the house?
and like
He-
when he's talking about like he used to like dressing up in
Yeah,
in
he had dressed up like a woman. He was a mental patient
Yeah.
and a known child molester.
Yeah. It's like,
And
holy
it
shit.
was like Jesus, like, and this is like on TV for
Yeah.
everyone to see. And then they're like, yeah, he had a woman living inside of his body,
Yeah.
which is kind of transphobic in some ways. But I don't know, like he said that he would dress up in women's clothes, and then the woman would tell him what to do things, and then he eventually hung himself in that basement.
Yeah.
And this is all while the kid is trapped in the
Yeah.
basement. It's like, it's so funny how hardcore it is.
Yeah, I know. I fucking love this movie, and like I watched it by myself, but I wanna. It's the kind of movie now where I wanna
You want to
watch
with
with people.
someone,
Yeah.
It's definitely one that would work really well watching with
And
someone.
it kept my attention too, like especially because I've talked about it on this podcast many times. Where like I hate watching movies alone because I find my mind wanders a lot. But no, this movie I wasn't on my phone like
Man,
at all.
I'm so happy to hear that.
That
Like, I'm so happy that it kept your attention, that you liked it. Like I just it's a real toss. It's a coin toss with this one though, because you know a lot of people aren't going to be on board with the. It's like watching a like super old episode of Top Gear.
Yeah.
Or something like
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah, but like they do such a good job even in parts where, because I also watched this alone, where parts where maybe something crazy was starting to ramp up, that they would cut all of a sudden to the studio, so it gives you like those little breaks, but it's also a little bit of reset on the story. And then when it continues, instead of them having to be like, why is this person here, or why are these things happening in succession, they give you that little bit of a time frame, so you don't have to spend all the time just with those characters. So that's what I liked when they had, like, oh, we're having technical difficulties, or so-and-so's calling in, we're taking calls. It was a nice reset that you're getting that, and then when the other scary things happen, it hits better.
It does. And I like, one of the things I love so much about it too is how they have like the psychologist on the show, and then they have like the skeptic and
Yeah.
the scientist.
Can I
like,
talk about the skeptic for a second?
yeah,
Because I wrote that down.
He's such a condescending dick.
Yeah. If you have it in your mind, he sounds exactly like Jeff Goldblum.
I thought you were going to say Jeff.
No, the whole time I was listening to him, like, this guy's Jeff. He
Yeah.
has the same mannerisms as Jeff Goldblum.
And well, he does that. He goes like, yeah, well, I would believe that if I was an idiot.
Yeah,
like, that's like how he talks to
Yeah.
people. It's just like, what a fucking dick. And like, I love how, they get like there's like heaters in there. And then just how the movie ramps up, and you're watching the studio, basically everything's cutting to black, and the studio's like rattling and falling.
Yeah.
That's the only part I didn't enjoy a ton.
yeah,
It was a little much.
That's where it went a little too far.
Yeah.
But it's still like, it was so fucking funny to me.
I think it would have been a little bit better of an ending for me, I guess, if I was writing it that way, is instead of it having like things are falling apart in the studio, just have like, okay, we lost camera 1, we lost camera 2, we're losing power, and then cut out from there. It's less. I don't need the ghost is destroying our studio. I didn't need that, but I understand the levity of it.
Pipe's voice is so creepy too, and I love when it comes out of Susie's mouth, and like that
was awesome.
That's day one, like cliche exorcist tropes.
Yeah, it
but
totally
it's done so well here.
And I actually wrote down that it was scary.
Yeah,
like that voice was terrifying.
Yeah, especially because like this. How many movies? Like exorcism, possession style movies did they have like in between the Exorcist and this? Probably quite a few, right?
Between this, there wasn't that many.
No?
Like, because this is '92. Like, they came out heavy after Exorcism of Emily Rose. Yeah, like that's when like exorcism movies.
Okay, yeah. It's just hard to. Sorry, something went in my eye. It's hard to think of a time when there wasn't a whole lot of
there was there was stuff like Amityville Horror and stuff like that. But
but you can even credit a little bit of that to like The Ring.
Yeah,
as much as that's all that Japan horror stuff is. It does take a lot of stuff from that style of film and carries it over to possession movies.
Yeah, no, they definitely they all trade from each other, but like the source material of that, like this just feels like a found footage version of The Conjuring 2.
And what I was trying to get at too is like especially when it comes to like the voice coming out of her, like a lot of people probably wouldn't have really seen anything like that since The Exorcist.
And a lot of people, there's no way. I bet you 80% of the people watching it hadn't even seen The Exorcist.
Yeah, like they weren't horror fans. They were just watching it. They're like, oh, Halloween, let's watch this BBC special, and then fuck.
Yeah, like this is one of the funniest trolls I've ever seen, because like it's like how every time a scary movie comes out, they're like, a theater showed Detective Pikachu, but they started playing The Curse of La Llorona or whatever. Like that happens. Like that always fucking happens.
Oh, what did that
happened with Detective Pikachu and Curse of La Llorona.
Oh wait, actually?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And then, but that also happened with there was a more hardcore movie that came out.
La Llorona.
La Llorona. I figured it out.
Llorona.
I'll watch it someday.
I will too. Llorona.
Yeah. I like some of the more. I would say there are some very smart things that they do in this movie, and one of them is when they cut back to the scene where they have people calling in saying they can see pipes in that in that camera footage, and they change the camera footage slightly, yes, but it's also very interesting because you're looking for so many more things. Because the first time you're going, oh, there's nothing there, and then when they show it again, they do have something happening in there.
It makes you hold your breath.
And you're going like, did I miss that the first time? Or how the fuck did that happen?
I love that, and I also love that's just horror 101, where it's like, let's examine a screen and something fucked is gonna happen. And I love how everyone was kind of taking different ideas out of it. But one of the other cool scenes in this was when I loved how they showed one of the daughters hitting the pipes. Yeah, so they're like, something's in the background, and they pan over and you see it, and it's her. But it's
which is also like an Emily Rose thing. That they did in Emily Rose too.
Well, they did that in Emily Rose, and they did that in The Conjuring. Yeah, in The Conjuring,
where they're trying to throw them off. Yeah.
Well, it was they were trying to convince them, because they're like, hey, this is actually happening. It may not be happening for you right now, but this is actually happening. And it makes you think, like, the skeptic wins, and he's got that shit-eating Jeff Goldblum smile. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like we don't have to talk about this one a lot. I think if we're all kind of
I had more to talk about.
Yeah, let's.
Why did they call it a glory hole?
When they said that, I was like, did I hear that right? Like,
the first time you're pardon?
Well,
they kept saying,
I don't know if glory hole had the same meaning in
that's what I'm wondering, if it's like is it like a linguistic thing that they were like, oh, that's the old glory hole. Yeah.
I can't believe it took this long for us to get to the glory hole.
But that was like, funny jokes aside about it being called a glory hole,
awful big to be a
some of the glory hole scenes were creepy when it had all those cats screaming. No, because the guy had been eaten by cats.
Oh yeah, his face. They went to his face.
Yeah, it's just crazy, because that's where it's doing like found footage in the best way. It was where they have to work with what they have.
Less is more.
And but this, just listening to people's stories, it's showing you it all in your head, and what you're gonna think up for this is gonna be 10 times scarier than anything 100%. They can do on screen. And I think they do such a good job of that in this movie in particular. It bums me out so bad that it's not on Shudder anymore, because it
bums me out that there's no like Blu-ray release.
Yeah, because I do know that you can stream this online somewhere and pay for it. I have a DVD.
Wait, actually?
Yeah,
that's cool. But I would like to. It would be cool if they did like a Blu-ray release with like like the documentary, like packaged with it or something.
Yeah, because it's behind.
Why have they not
Ghostwatch.
like capitalized on that? I would love to own a
I
copy.
think because it's pretty obscure.
Yeah, and
Which is weird that it's so obscure. If it caused like a mass panic, like it's weird that like
owns it. They didn't
Yeah.
just throw it in the garbage after.
well, I think they should release that and Robot Wars complete series.
together.
Okay, I hated the Robot Wars guy.
man,
he was the worst part of
that's
that whole
Craig
movie.
Charles.
I fuck him.
Because
He
he's
was-
annoying.
Like I liked that they went back to the studio and there was kind of some funny banter in there, but I felt like his character was in a different movie. And they just randomly
the funny thing
cut
is
to
that's him.
I-
That's like him being him. Like
I get it, but it's like it reminds me of all those like MTV VJs when they're on the street. They're like, "Hey, what do you think of this Blink 182 band?"
Yeah, no,
like,
he
it's
does
stuff like that.
Yeah. We're punk rockers.
Yeah.
we'll see you next time on Robot Wars.
We'll see you next time on Pop-Up Video.
Yeah, it's like it's shit like that.
I don't think they had hosts. But
Papa Video did not have hosts.
I think this is a fantastic, not only found footage movie, but possession movie.
It's a great possession movie.
And I am gonna thank you for making me watch this.
Yeah.
This is your gift to me because I gave you what fucking movie was that?
You gave me something real good. Lovely Molly?
You Lovely Molly.
I really liked Lovely Molly. Yeah,
you gave me a boner.
You're welcome.
In the glory hole.
Yeah. We were just talking about giving and taking, so I want to give me.
No, yeah, I'm really stoked you guys like this, and I hope our listeners check it out for yourselves. I don't see, just give it a chance, but know that it's not going to be like anything you've seen before.
Is the
It's very
documentary
different.
just on YouTube?
I'm not sure. Someone has told me that it was on Vimeo, but that's...
I feel like I think if you type it in, stuff will come up. I just wanted to I just wanted to say though is that we're talking about it with such glowing reviews. I'm sure a ton of people who will watch this or try and watch this won't like it at all because you kind of have to not. I don't want to put that in like that elitist thing. It's like you can't be a fringe horror person because you won't get anything out of it.
Like it's I don't think I know what you mean.
Well, okay, we talked about this before. It's that whole like boob analogy. Yeah.
Okay, I forget the boob analogy, but let's go with it.
Okay, it's like okay.
First off, what's the boob analogy?
We talked about this before, and then you got mad at me for talking about it.
Talk about it again.
Okay, so it's basically like the first time you like see a boob or touch a boob, it's like the greatest experience in the world.
Yeah.
And then you go on to bigger and better things. So then if you came back to just a boob, you'd be like, whatever, it's just a boob.
It's just boobs.
I've
Yeah,
seen
you're
them. I
desensitized
felt.
from
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean.
You could just say you're desensitized.
You are, but it's the boob analogy.
Okay.
So this movie is a crisp boob, and
Crisp.
and people have seen like 30 boobs if they
Yeah.
watched like The Conjuring or stuff like
Yeah.
but because that's like out of control boobs everywhere. Whereas this is just a nice firm good boob. This movie is a great boob.
That's the best review you could give
Yeah.
something. It's a good firm boob. Jesus, we are such fucking trash. No, I'm going to agree with Boozy that this is a nice firm boob. What about you, Diego?
Sure.
Firm boob? Firm tete. But yeah, no, I think I know where you're getting at. I just think if you're listening to this and it sounds interesting, give it a chance, but know that you're going to have to kind of go with it a little bit. And unless you're like immediately turned off, actually I say stick with it. Stick with it. Even if you're turned off in the first 20 minutes, just keep paying attention.
Yeah,
keep watching.
that's what I mean. It's like it's not super aesthetically pleasing at any
No, 'cause
point.
it looks like an old TV show.
Yeah, and if you're expecting like a demon thing to wander around and chase people, that's not what you're getting with this.
And that's another important thing that I didn't even note here is that it was shot on video. Like this wasn't shot on film. So like that alone is kind of what we're describing here. Is that
it looks
feels
gritty.
like a low grade TV show.
Because it was.
It doesn't feel because it was, and like that. But that's what makes it brilliant. And I love this movie. I'm happy you guys liked it.
Okay, wait, say brilliant, but in like a Ron Weasley. It was brilliant.
It was brilliant.
That sounded more like a Mark Wahlberg.
Everybody getting pregnant. We'll go with the Tracy Morgan. Okay, all right. Thanks for sticking around and listening to us on the Terror Table. We will see you next week, in which we will be discussing Diego's pick, the Poughkeepsie tapes.
Yeah.
See you all next week.
Yeah, and follow all our bullshit, send us messages, all that good stuff.
Yeah, we're on all the social medias. We're on, we got Instagram, Facebook, Grindr, Twitter, and Plenty of Fish, and
Christian Mingle.
Yeah.
Farmer's Daughters?
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Is there a place for Kyles to go and drink Monsters?
And punch drywall?
Yeah, it's called Kyle Grant's house.
I love how he's like the least Kyle ever. Okay, all right, well, see you guys
Stay
next week.
spooky!